Hey everybody, this is Owen with Overtake, and today I'm here with this 2017 GT86, and I'm going to be showing you the new Overtake post-MAF hose for the first gen BRZ, 86, and FRS. Now, if you're not familiar with what a post-MAF hose is, it is essentially the joint between your factory airbox and MAF housing and the intake manifold. And that, in the case of a BRZ or 86, is this little L-shaped pipe here. Now, you'll notice the factory one has a lot of ribbing and everything for flexibility. However, that does also add turbulence to the air, and it's just not the smoothest flow into the engine, so that can reduce power. On top of that, on these later model first gens, they had a sound generator tube. They kind of split off and went to the firewall, and this also really doesn't help with performance. So our new post-MAF hose is going to help with both of those things. It's going to smooth out the airflow and get rid of this disruption here. So if we want to come over and unbox, I can kind of show you what's special about it. First of all, we have our pack by card here. This one was packed by Justin. Then we have the nice 5-ply fiber reinforced and wire reinforced silicone coupler here. So it's nice and stiff, but still flexible enough to allow the engine to move. And then we also just have some fittings. So we have some clamps and then a little cap to delete that sound generator tube as well. Getting into the install here, it's honestly about as easy as it gets. There's just a few clamps that hold the post-MAF hose in place here. So we're going to start by removing those. So we got that one. We have this one for the sound tube. And then we have a 10 mil in the front here, go into the airbox. You don't need to remove these all the way, just enough that there's some play. Now I can get this breather connector off of here. Just pinch that. And kind of slide it around the corner. With those clamps loose, we can go ahead and remove the factory post-MAF hose here. It's easiest to start with the sound tube. Just pop that out like that, and then remove the inlet from the throttle body, as well as the airbox, and then you can kind of twist it to get that breather fitting out of there. Then you can take the factory hose, get it out of the way here. Now to get rid of the sound generator tube, we just have two 10mm bolts right here, and we'll get those removed. So we get those bolts out of the way. Now that we have the sound generator tube unbolted from the intake manifold here, you can just kind of follow the hose down, kind of runs along the frame rail here and then down underneath. And then to get that disconnected from the firewall, there's no clamp or anything. There's just a little plastic fitting. You can just pull it out and there's what the fitting looks like. That's just slid in there. Then we can get this out of the engine bay. We can just tug on the clip here, just like that. It'll pop free. And then go ahead and feed all of this out. So now we can get rid of that. Now that we have the factory post-MAF out of the engine bay, we can go ahead and grab the Overtake hose, as well as the 3 clamps that we include. And you can take one of each of these bigger ones and kind of preload them onto the ends. And then the smaller one goes right on that breather barb. Now that I have all the clamps preloaded on here, I can go ahead and start getting this installed. So I'm going to start on the airbox side, get that popped on like that, and then come back to the throttle body and get that installed just like so. And then I can take my breather and just get that pressed into place like that. Then I can just go back and get these clamps all tightened up. Now these clamps, you don't need to go crazy tightening them, just snug is enough. We don't want to over tighten them and risk splitting the silicone and causing a leak in your intake. There we are. So with that, we are basically all done. The only step left, you'll notice there's one more little cap in your hardware kit, just this little black cap. That is going to be for capping off that hole in the firewall where the sound tube generator went in. So we're gonna have to hop under the dash here and I'll show you how this goes in. So down here in the passenger footwell, if you pull back your carpet here a little bit, you're gonna see this little hole, grommet. That's where that sound tube generator came in. So we're gonna take our little cap and that is just going to go right over top of that. And that's just to prevent any moisture from coming in. Then we can tuck our carpet back up into place, and we are all done with the install. So as you can see, another very easy install here under the hood of your BRZ 86. Very easy and not very expensive way to add a little bit of performance and smooth out the airflow coming from your factory air box. Now, one thing to mention while you're under here, another good time would be to check your factory air filter, maybe upgrade to an aftermarket one, wink, wink. Now, if you're interested in picking up an Overtake post-MAF hose in either black or red, we do have them available right now over on Overtake USA, so check out the link in the description and grab one for yourself. If you like what you're seeing here and want to follow along, follow us at Overtake USA on all social media platforms. Other than that, I've been Owen, and I'll see you in the next Overtake install guide.